All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. It is time for a follow-up on the Galaxy S26 Ultra, a phone that I've been using since it launched. I have been using this particular phone since it came out. I got such a great deal on this phone, and that's where I want to start. I want to start with the price. The price of this phone is expensive, folks. The fact that they still offer 256 gigs versions of this phone is, I used to say 128 isn't for a phone over $1,000. There's no reason why it should not have 512 gigs of storage. This phone right here is pretty expensive if you don't have any kind of trade-ins or you don't have any kind of promos. And thank goodness I had a promo to where I got this phone for half off at launch with no trade-in. Jay, how did you do that? Well, if you're new to my channel, I usually buy certain phones through Google Fi. I've been with Google Fi. I was a beta tester for Google when Fi first launched. I was in Project Fi. I was with it before it was secretly known, before Project Fi. And so I just kind of kept my account and stayed with it. And I used it because the service was good. And the service is still good. So that is who I got this phone through at the time. And I think right now they're offering that again. You can get it for half off, but you don't get the memory upgrade. That's the difference. So anytime Samsung launches a new phone, most times they'll give you a free memory upgrade. And so that's how I ended up getting this phone for $650 from Google Fi. And it's no tricks. There's nothing to it. You just need to keep using the phone on Google Fi for a certain amount of time. And depending on how long you've been with them, you don't even have to do it. So I think it's pretty good that they offer that. I've been with them since before Google Fi. So I can just go in and get a phone and get the price. As long as I don't cancel the service or something like that. I don't even know. I don't plan on canceling my service anyway. But the price on this, if you don't have any kind of discounts, it can be pretty pricey, especially for a 256 gig. So it's up to you to determine whether this is a phone that you actually want. Now, I did not trade in, like I said, I didn't trade in my Galaxy S25 Ultra. And the things that I didn't like about the Galaxy S25 Ultra, they kind of fixed it a little bit with the Galaxy S26 Ultra. You know how it goes. They tweak a few things and then they make it a little bit better and so on and so on. So I might end up referencing the Galaxy S25 Ultra a little bit in this video, but since we're talking about price, the Galaxy S26 Ultra and the Galaxy S25 Ultra, I got both of these at like great deals. But hardware is what I want to touch on next. And this is an improvement that they did for me. Samsung did that I appreciate. They brought out a more rounded version of this phone. And you can see here in the corners, if I look here, you can see the corners on here. The Galaxy S26 Ultra is rounded now, which is what I prefer. I hardly don't like very big phones anymore. I used to love big phones, but I just don't like them anymore for like regular use. And Samsung rounding off the corner of the Galaxy S26 Ultra, they did some justice. I really can appreciate them trying to make some improvements to this phone because it definitely needed it in my opinion. The boxy design is still here, but it's more rounded in every aspect. I mean, every corner, every side, every design on this phone, every part of this phone is pretty much rounded. The sides are flat, but it's still rounded over here on the S26 Ultra. And I really like that they've done that. But other than that, folks, you can see it's pretty much the same. They moved the 5G antenna. It's like gone. I never even noticed that. There we go. Nope. They completely erased that 5G antenna. I didn't even notice until just right now, actually. I might have noticed it in the previous video, but other than that, everything is pretty much the same. So, and knowing that the 5G antenna has been like hidden away under the device or something like that, it still has really good service. The service is about the same. And then also with the S Pen, they've changed it to where they've rounded it off with the device itself. We can see here, it's poking out a little flat there. And on this side, it's kind of rounded. So they've made some subtle changes, but overall rounding off the S26 Ultra was a smart move for a consumer like myself. The new camera island, I like it because I like the Galaxy, the Z Fold. I like that lineup and the way it looks. And I love the S26 Edge. I was really hoping that they'll make a thin version of the Galaxy S26 Ultra, but we'll stick to the Edge for that. And we'll see how that goes. But hardware wise, I think you're getting still a magnificent piece of hardware. These are larger phones, and I like the larger phones, but I obviously don't prefer them as my first choice. I like it. If it's going to be a large phone, I need it to be really thin, like my iPhone Air or the Galaxy S25 Edge. Really hoping that they make another Galaxy S25 Edge. That would be really cool. A Galaxy S26 Edge. just another version of the Edge, or make these phones thin like the Edge and go to silicon carbon technology. But that's neither here nor there. Hardware on here, I'm loving it. I think the color is good. We also have the silver one. I think it's limited to Samsung. She got the silver looking one. That one's really good looking in person. But the screen, no different. Now I do have a privacy glass on here, as you can see, but I do have privacy display turned off. So if I turn privacy display on, it's even more dim. Yeah, I have a privacy glass on here and the privacy display as well. So when you turn on the privacy display, it dulls down the screen a little bit and takes away some of the resolution as well. But you can't really tell, but it's definitely something that you should take note of, because if you're a person who's full throttle, I want the highest resolution, I would say just get a privacy glass or a privacy screen protector. And you can see here, you really can't see anything from certain angles. And I can demo that for you here with my other phone here. As you can see here, if I turn them, look at that. You can see pretty much still everything on that screen. And you turn it this way, you can't really see anything. You see? So the privacy display works. And then if I turn on privacy display, let's see here. It's really a lot different. You can't really see anything. So I think they did a good thing by putting up the option to privacy display as an option for it. I wasn't that intrigued by it when I first got it, but it's useful. I guess it is for people who just don't want to do tempered glass and screen protectors or whatever. It's definitely a feature that you could get into. Now, other than that, this is classic Samsung, man. You can adjust all these items here. You still have DeX. You have all these things that some people just don't talk about very often. DeX is something that I actually use from time to time, but it has to be a situation where I'm like, oh snap, I got DeX. And that does happen. I even have laptops that are just laptops only for DeX. Like literally it's just a screen and it's got a keyboard and everything, and it's just for DeX, simply put. So I do use DeX, but I use DeX on certain occasions. It's very seldom will I use DeX. I'm not even gonna say that I'm that person who has to have DeX, because I do not have to have DeX. I don't really have to have DeX. It's not that serious. But it is nice to have DeX. And then you have wireless DeX. Just DeX in general is great. I think people who use DeX, we know how useful it can be. Using DeX will squeeze a little bit of your battery life, but not too much. And while I'm speaking about battery life has actually been really good on this device. Now, the device is only 4 months old, but sometimes I've had devices that were about 3 months old and the battery started to deteriorate a little bit. So it just depends on what you're doing on your phone. My phone gets a lot of time with like the cameras and stuff like that. So I work mine over with the cameras and then some mild editing. Now, I'll admit I don't pull out my S Pen as much as I used to. Back in the day with the Note series, I really pulled out the S Pen a lot. It got a lot of use, and right now I just don't really use it at all. I do like, though, still having my favorite features of DeX built in here. So Screen Write is the one that, if you remember from a long time ago, Screen Write is still my favorite option on the S Pen suite. I just think it's just the way to go. It's just a marvelous feature to have, and I'm excited that I can actually still use it today and they haven't taken it away or anything like that. So here's some other options you can have here for Air Command. You can do compact or standard. Obviously I have mine on standard, but in the end, the S Pen is something that people have really frowned upon lately because it's getting more fragile. They took away the Bluetooth functionality, just a bunch of things. And I agree with them. The Bluetooth functionality is something that I really enjoyed using on the S24 Ultra. And once that started to go away, and then, just the overall fragileness of the pen, you could always snap those pens. However, it's just different now. The quality is we're getting really poor quality for what we used to get, and we're paying more money. And that's not something that I enjoy about buying these products. But in the end, though, you're still looking at a beautiful package here from Samsung. And I'll fire up a video so you can see just how beautiful these screens really are still. Now I decided to just go ahead and grab a video directly from the gallery because I use this phone a lot to record content, and it's just a good solid camera, man. I can definitely count on this phone right here to record anything I want on the channel at any given time. These cameras are actually really solid. And I just think if you're looking for a kind of a complete package in a slab phone, you still can't go wrong with Samsung's products, man. I mean, this Ultra lineup here, these cameras are way more than enough to what a person would need for just regular use. Now, I will say I work out every day. And so I recently went out and I was taking some photos on one of my workouts last week. And I was just snapping different shots as I was going. I was dripping in sweat here. I was just snapping different shots as I was walking. And just look at how beautiful this camera is just in general. Let me crank the brightness up here. This camera is great, man. You can't really get a lot of phones that can just, and I'm working out doing this, folks. So there's going to be some shots where I didn't even stop. Like some of these shots, I just kind of quick step, stop, and a lot of them I was still walking. So I can appreciate what Samsung is doing here with these cameras. I think they've always been good. I just think that phones get forgotten after a while when new versions come out. And just look at the sky, man. That's just beautiful. That's just a beautiful thing. So if you have the Galaxy S26 Ultra, you still have one of the best. Like, look at this. This is crazy. I even did it directly on the sun just to see what it would be like that day that I was working out. And it's immaculate, man. There's just no getting around it. This is a phenomenal set of cameras. And I don't know that very many places can say that they can do that and offer it at the same price point in the US market. Now, a lot of people love the iPhone content. I actually like the iPhone content. And I think for me, when it comes to Samsung's video cameras, I still prefer the HDR on iPhones more. Samsung, I don't know, it works good, but something about the way Samsung does their HDR for their videos, it just doesn't sit well with me. Now, where Samsung does shine at is the portrait video. They've always been great. I can't tell you how much I like the portrait video, and it's an HDR. And I think that's the strange part. The HDR for the regular content seems to be overblown, but the portrait video HDR seems to be just right. It seems to be just right. So, but they've changed the way they do their effects now on here. So I've got it turned all the way up for the portrait video. But in the end, it's super easy to navigate Samsung's UI still. I think everything on this phone is just straight to the point. Now, from a real end user, it's like just a regular person using this phone, they probably won't dig into some of these settings like this. But just regular point and shoot, which is what those photos were, no editing or anything like that. Point and shoot video, point and shoot photos, the basics getting down. Even if you're not using portrait video or HDR video, you're still going to get even better. 1080p 30 is actually a good place to shoot video because it's going to be very clear with a phone like this. And these cameras are really solid still. I tested the zoom feature on here versus the Motorola Razr Fold, and this still is a lot better than the Razr Fold. Here's one of the photos I took. I was in another neighborhood and took this photo at 100 times zoom. I think it was, yeah, I was in another neighborhood and I took this photo and I was like, wow, the Samsung looks so much better than the Motorola Razr Fold. But the Fold's cameras are flagship cameras now, but I wanted to test it against this phone because some people have asked me about how the zoom was on here. And I think that when you're looking at a phone for a long-term use, some boxes have to be checked. It has to have great battery first. And now by today's standards, you got to have good cameras. The hardware is one of the main things that people look at. They look at if they like how something looks. Just the screen has got to be good. Performance, ironically enough, I talk to people, they don't really seem to mention performance first because they probably don't edit on their phones and they don't use it in the same manner as some creators do. But me, I'm always looking to get that right video, that good shot in the video. Now, how does this compare to, as far as upgrading from the Galaxy S25 Ultra? I would definitely tell a person, you don't have to upgrade. This isn't really an upgrade. It's just a quick physical change that they do, that 2.0 that they do. This is their silver blue and this is their sky blue, completely different, right? But yeah, I think this phone has been phenomenal over the time of me having it, and this one has been great over the year, over a little over a year having this. But these are actually phenomenal. These are the Pro Buds, man, and I use these all of the time when I'm using a Samsung product, and I have all the Samsung Buds, but these have quickly become my favorite. And I just think that I wanted to put that on a side note. But in the end, folks, if you have the Galaxy S25 Ultra, by now I think you figured out that you really don't need to upgrade to the S26 Ultra. It's really not necessary. But if you didn't have any of these phones, if you didn't have either one of these, I would definitely tell you to go to the S26 Ultra, just for the, the little small tweaks that you didn't know you were getting from this older version right there. Now, I don't know if I'm going to trade in this phone or not when the 27 or whatever the next version comes out. I don't even know if I'll trade in this one. I'm going to just keep them all and pass them on to family members like I do. So people always ask me, do you sell your products? Sometimes it's going to have to be a situation where I just don't want it anymore, or I have multiple of them, or I don't know. I don't typically scout out on the internet and sell things anymore. It's a little bit of a hassle. So if you are local or something like that, and that would be different. But yeah, I typically don't sell. I just have a storage full of devices. Trust me. So it's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. The S26 Ultra has been great over the last almost 5 months, and I don't anticipate it slowing down anytime soon. I think that even when the new version comes out, we'll sing this same song later. You shouldn't upgrade from the S26 Ultra. If you got a S23 Ultra, it's the same song being sang every year when something new comes out. So we'll see how this works out, though. I plan on holding on to this bad boy because it is actually really nice. Definitely more than I will hold on to this. Now, the S25 Ultra, maybe I'll give it up for the new version of this phone. I don't know, but based on the way pricing is, I don't think I'll have to do any more trade-ins if I use Google Fi unless they take away those big discounts for new devices. Maybe. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. The S26 Ultra. How long have you had yours? Have you had it since launch like me? And do you still enjoy it? Did you get rid of it? Some people I've seen traded in their S26 Ultras for the Razr Fold. I couldn't believe they did that. I've seen some pretty crazy trade-in deals. Fold 7s were traded for Razr Folds. I don't know. I like this phone a lot. And so I'm going to continue to bang it out, man. This is my Google Fi phone number. I love it. I have data turned off when I'm at home because this is just a phone that's just phone calls predominantly. I just need it for the phone calls. And that's predominantly what this is used for. Some texting or something like that. But in the end, I'm happy with it. I can't really see any kind of faults. I wish they would make smaller powerhouse versions of the same phone, like same cameras and all. Don't take stuff away. Just make it smaller. Give the same package in a 6.3, same design and everything, and I would love it. I know I would. It's your man Jay. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.